Morning WC replays! Just felt like starting off with that because it turns me on. Just like some of you are getting turned on right now because I got a lot of messages telling me about how your nipples get erect when you hear my voice. And I don't really know how to take that. Kind of dazed, a little confused. Married with children, you know, all those soap opera titles. I'm a little bit of each one right now. Anyways, you're probably going to either love me or hate me for this commentary because, well, as you'll see once we get into the replay, which you can go ahead and get paused at 10 seconds, you'll see why you can either love me or hate me. So, get that paused at 10 seconds. Just a quick little note. My buddies, you'll see 2 games, actually. I should have told you this at the beginning. The replay you're pausing is replay number 1. Uno, big caps, 1. That's the replay we're starting off with. Yeah, in case you couldn't tell by yourself that we're starting off with 1, I just told you. Almost neglected that. Anyways, back to what I was saying. My buddies, you're going to see me playing with 2 other staff members who I actually both talked into this. The first one is with Zero X Smurf, which is named backwards, but you'll know him as a replay prepper if you ever read the descriptions. And he's a good buddy of mine, really cool. And you'll also see in the other game, Magus, or Sword Magus, or whatever he goes by in the descriptions. He's got so many names, almost as many as me. He's also a replay prepper. Notice I get all my friends from the same department as me. Anyways, he's, I kind of subject him to looking like an idiot in this replay because what I ask him to do. But I do it first in the first replay, so I don't really feel bad asking him to do it. But both of them did it volunteer-based after I pressured them into doing it. So don't think they're really stupid because these are not actual ladder games or anything like that. I just asked them to do it specifically for this commentary. And we're paused at 10 seconds on replay number 1. Make sure you check that real quick. Replay number 1, 10 seconds. Okay? You ready? Ready. Hack! As you can see, I'm already sending militia up to his base because what this commentary is on, which I've been holding a secret, is the infamous suicide tower rush by humans against Night Elf on small maps like Two Rivers or Plunder Isle. I'm playing the human in this one because I figured it'd be best to show you how to do it before I tell you how to conquer it, so I'm just doing it. We got, I make a mill with one of my peasants, the other one goes on gold, I instantly militia 3 of them and send them to the Night Elf's base. While they're still militia, you may notice I'm attacking the Moonwell. That's just because they're still militia, so I don't really have anything else to do, and that'll pre-damage it some, so when I have to start towering. So I'm now sticking up the towers. Notice how I put them just enough room in between them so that a demon hunter could possibly get stuck or dazed or, I don't know, screwed up in there. That was my plan. Notice my mill is up. That way I can make guard towers instead of arcane towers, because arcane towers would do like nothing. And you gotta have all those peasants on wood instead of gold like I do, because towers cost 50 wood and they cost 70 gold, and it takes a lot longer to get wood than it does take to get gold. Notice Azura is doing a pretty good strategy for stopping my towers. He's putting an AOW right next to it, so when it comes out, it can just come out swinging and it keeps macking my towers. That's a great way to try and stop it. Going with the Demon Hunter, which is pretty much the only hero you can get against this kind of imbalance, which isn't really an imbalance because it is beatable, which I'm going to show you in replay 2. But first off, guard tower is almost up because they'll finish about the time the Ancient of War does, and then it's going to be pretty hard for him to stop it. Especially, if he's a really good Night Elf, he can probably stop it. Automatically focus right on the guard towers that are upgrading because they take extra damage that way. Notice the Demon Hunter's going for the peasants because if you take out the workers, I can't make more of them, and I can't repair. I'm focus firing the Demon Hunter because I don't know why. I should be focusing the Ancient War, but I'm focusing the Demon Hunter. Well, once he dies, that'll give me some leeway to take out the Ancient War, so constantly gotta be repairing. Always keep the repairing up. If you look at my war mill or my lumber mill, I'm upgrading my building armor. That's a must if you're tower rushing, because it makes them just so much stronger. I think it's like 2 armor or something like that on a tower. So he's keeping his Demon Hunter pretty back, except he's attacking now, but if he keeps him back, he can heal him up. Because there's no real good in him losing it, even though it may be a practical idea to lose your Demon Hunter. That way when he revives, he'll revive in like 15 seconds, come right out, ready to hit again. It might be one of your few chances. Notice how he finally got a tower, but it took him forever with that AOW to get it. Killed the Demon Hunter, he didn't run far enough. You gotta make sure you either let your Demon Hunter die, or you keep him for enough so that it won't hurt you. See, the way Azor is trying to deal with this is he's trying to use buildings to counter buildings. As you'll see in the second replay, I prefer to use units to counter buildings, but I won't get into that. Just look at how I'm towering now. I got this like V-shaped thing. No AOW can get in behind those, and it's also blocking off a whole bunch of trees. So if he makes more AOWs, he can't really eat the trees as easily. Notice he's got archers, like I said, units on buildings instead of buildings on buildings. Notice why I call this a suicide tower rush is because look at my base. I have nothing but peasants and a mill and a hall. I'm not making units, not making a hero. You can't afford to when you're doing this. You just gotta keep the towers coming. That's why it's a suicide. If you screw up on this, you're pretty much lost unless you screwed the Night Elf so hard, like he had to uproot his Tree of Life or something. Because otherwise, he's got AOWs, he's got units coming out, and you've got nothing. You've just got peasants. A whole lot of peasants. Now notice how Azor is focusing the guard towers at a building. Wait, no. He used to be, but he pulled off. But you always focus the ones that are built upgrading because they take more damage. You always have to do that. Notice how I'm focusing on the archers, and the one that can't reach the archers, I have it focusing on the Tree of Life, because you want to take out that tree if you can, but take out the units that are damaging you first. That's one of the key things tower rushing is. You gotta take out any threat that you have to your towers. Yeah, I was right, 2 armor on the upgrade. So 7 armor, 600 HP building, that's a lot of strength on there. Lots. The Tree of Life is almost down, and after that it's pretty much game, set, match, because Demon Hunter out again. Notice he has full HP and enough mana to do immolation, so that's why I like to sometimes suicide my Demon Hunter. It's really helpful that way. He should have been repairing his Tree of Life when I was hitting it, but he didn't. I don't know if my towers would have reached the repairing whiz, but that might be why he didn't do it. Still focusing the archers. You always focus fire your towers. Just like you were playing a tower defense, you always focus fire them. You don't really have much of a choice if you want to win doing this strategy. This is more of a, I'm a sucky player and want to beat a really good Night Elf, but I know I can't normally, so you do this to him. Notice he's taking out my towers pretty easily with the archers. Like I said, units on the buildings. But see, I take out this Moonwell, so I can't really make more. Wait, yeah, I can. Never mind. But, he's trying to remake his Tree of Life outside of the placement of my towers, which is really a good idea for him, because that way he can re-get his unit, his gold and whatever, but I can't stop him. So I took my militia and I stopped it, because that's the only real way I could do damage to it, and now I'm spreading out my towers more, so he can't redo that. Now he's bringing in the, Inches of War. I'm like, yeah, holy fuck. Because I didn't think he had any buildings left. I really didn't. I thought I got them all when I took out the Tree of Life. And then I'm like, and I figured I'm going to lose because of the buildings, but he's not really used them too well. I figured he'd use the buildings and the archers, and my towers would probably fall. But he didn't really do that great of a job. No offense to Azur, I'm sure he doesn't burst this very often or anything, but he is putting up one hell of a job. Because now he's got his Demon Hunter out. It's going to be hard for me. I got to keep my towers alive no matter what. I got to keep the peasants and the towers alive. Notice all game I've been replacing the peasants he's been taking out, because you have to always have at least 3 peasants up there. And I usually only ever have 3 peasants up there, because you need the rest of them on gold and wood. Otherwise you won't have enough to repair. And it's getting pretty close. He's already taken down most of my towers. He's got a level 2 hero, which is going to be a real pain. Because he's got evasion, immolation. Usually I go evasion first, just because towers will miss. See, right now he's already about to take out my next one, so it's looking pretty grim. And if he had more buildings like I thought he might have, that's why I said holy fuck, because I thought he might have even more buildings. Maybe he's making ballistas or something. I thought I was really screwed. And see, now I ask if he has anything else, because I wasn't sure. And let's see. Nope. Nothing else. So, that's pretty much game there. Although, this is going to go about another 60 seconds longer because he's taking all his wisps and he's going to mass detonate my town hall. So I'm kind of ruining the surprise, but that's what he's going to do. Just so, it's going to be funny. Well, maybe. This is what you do if you want to annoy your opponent just because you can. Notice he's revealed because he has no town hall, tree of life, whatever. Hey, I switched drinks again. Now I'm drinking orange juice with a slight mix of apple juice and a little chocolate milk. Because I like to experiment with my drinks. Plain water just isn't enough. Neither is prune juice. Maybe I'll mix prune juice into something next time. Uh-oh. Mass detonates. Boom! 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 Oh shit, nukes. Ah! Osama bin Laden would be so proud. There's the game over. Notice my score is lower because I mass towered. I never got a hero or anything, which is really, really sad that you can beat people with something like this. But, go ahead and get queued up replay number 2. Dos. I'm not sure what that is in any other languages, but replay number 2 is 27 kilobytes. Really, really small because it's a pretty short game. This one's against my buddy Magus. We're going to pause it at 10 seconds. Mine hasn't even loaded yet, but we're going to pause it at 10 seconds. And, loading. Yeah, go Pentium 4. It's your birthday. Magus is playing under the name Love and Death, which is a level 30 account. So he's not doing too bad, I guess. And there's 10 seconds paused. I'm going to ramble for a little bit while I make sure that all of you are going to be ready on time. So, I don't really have anything to ramble about. Oh, my birds. As you remember, in the first commentary, if you listen to it, I had a lot of bird noises all throughout the entire thing because I had birds next to my computer. I forgot to mention in the last one, but I did move the birds, even though they turned on a lot of people. At least they said they did. But, I moved them because they were annoying as shit for me, and I really hated them. I actually shish kebabbed one of them once, and then they had to go to the hospital and get stitches, just because they annoyed me that much. And then the other one I just ate with a fork. Actually, no, they're both upstairs in my mother's room. I was like, yo, these aren't my birds, you take them. Who doesn't ever want to say that to your parents? Anyways, okay, 10 seconds, ready, hack. Notice, Magus is doing this, right? Already has the militia coming to my base. But this time, I'm going to tell you how to stop this bullshit. Because I've gotten a lot of messages and stuff. They're like, oh, how do I beat the tower rush on really, really small maps? You know, like Turtle Rock and stuff. How do I do it? They always rape me, and I'm sick of it. Please, help. Signed, dearly, bad Night Elf player. So, even though you don't like Night Elf commentaries, this is technically a human commentary because if you know how they can beat it, you know how to stop them from beating it. So I'm calling this a human commentary. Notice, you gotta build your stuff as fast as you can. And now I'm just playing the part saying, what the royal fuck, because I'm acting like it's a ladder game and all confused and shit. Just because I feel like it. Notice how he's towering up around my moonwell. That's a very good strategy by Magus. That's why I called him a hoe. Because I can't heal with that moonwell. He's blocking off my hero healing. Notice how I make my Demon Hunter really, really fast, which is going to sound stupid, but you got to make everything. When you're tower rushed, every single second counts. So make your stuff as fast and as possible. Now notice how I'm moving my wisps, or how I did move my wisps. That's because I'm trying to get them out of the range of the towers, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get any wood. Now Magus is complaining he fucked up. I don't really know why. I'm not really sure. Oh. He needs 1 on gold. Now I'm laughing at him. But he doesn't play human, so leave him alone. I have my Moonwell on auto heal because when you're going against towers, you just want to be done automatically. Because you're going to be too busy microing that Demon Hunter. Notice I'm going archers. Like I said, units against the building. Don't lift up the AOW and use it. Go ahead and make those archers. Got the Hunter Hall. You know why? Ballistas. You gotta have ballistas. Archers alone probably can't take this. Go for the ballistas. Notice I went straight for the one that was pre-building. That way I can damage it faster. And it's almost down. Almost. And that was Shoutcast-like. Yeah. I know how much you hate that. I'm gonna go for the peasants because you gotta take out the workers. He can't make more towers and he can't repair if you take out the peasants. And I'm making another moon well because I need the supply. I'm out of supply, and 2 archers isn't good. I should have made another moon well earlier. Probably a lot earlier. That was a bad mistake by me, and I'm really, really sorry that you had to live through that newbiness. Just like losing my archer was stupid. But notice how I'm not using immolation, I went evasion first. Because that is going to save your demon hunter a lot of hit points if you go evasion first. Because notice how those guard towers miss a whole bunch. That's really, I prefer evasion because you can do more with a surviving demon hunter than immolation will do. That's just a straight fact. If you run the statistics based upon 10% and 10 damage per second, I calculated it, I think, a while ago, and it's like you live, or you do 10% more damage, or 15%, or something like that. Now somebody's going to run those stats and tell me I'm wrong. And I probably am, because I just made all of that up to justify why I do what I do. And it sounded good, I'll admit that. I bullshitted that really well. Anyways, Listas. I'm coming out with a Lista because they can't really stop my Lista. How are they going to take out? How's he going to take it out? I'm also sending my Demon Hunter over there, figuring if I can screw up his income, I can stop him from getting a barracks or something later down the road, wisp me off. Got to keep that Tree of Life alive, so you got to keep the repairing wisp on it at all times and make sure it's out of the range of the tower, if at all possible. So you just got to keep it repaired and keep it alive, because if it dies, you're screwed. You can't do anything if your Tree of Life dies. Alright, why is my Demon Hunter? Okay. Now he's attacking. He wasn't attacking before. And he's gonna die. No, I pull him off. I'm good like that. That was some serious skill. Now look at what Magus is doing. He's attacking my Ballista with his peasants, which is actually a fairly good strat since I don't have any other units to defend it. So, I do not know why he's making a tower right there. That's really pretty retarded, actually. But it was a good idea to attack with the peasants, at least. I made a second AOW so I can produce units better. This is why I said it's a suicide tower, because once if I can manage to defeat Magus, he's pretty much screwed, because I got 2 working AOWs, and he doesn't even have a barracks or an altar, and I've got a hero who's almost level 2 compared to his nothing. So it's definitely a suicide strategy. And now I'm just going to let my Listas do some work on it. I'm going to send in my Demon Hunter, take out those peasants, or maybe not. I'll just let my Demon Hunter go hang out, you know, whack his bag or something with his left hand. He is blind. I mean, it's not like he can pick up any chicks. You can't really blame him. But I am going for the peasants. He felt like it. He can probably hear them repairing or something and find them. Level 2, so I can pick up immolation. Take out the peasants. Now Magus is going to tell me how I did everything wrong, despite the fact that I won. Which I did win, but I may have screwed it up. See, Magus thinks that I'm supposed to send my Demon Hunter straight away and kill his workers, so that he can't build more towers, he won't have the resources. Which is a pretty good idea, because if that worked, in theory, I could trade bases with him, or I can bide time, make the Listas, and then I won't have to worry about taking out like 6 towers like I am. So I haven't tried it like that. It probably works. You may want to try Magus' style as well. And I'm just slowly picking off the towers, and I'm going to go attack his base, because I'm thinking if he's breaking out a barracks or a hero or something, I could get fucked very quickly. Because if he managed to attack under some act of Satan, do you have any idea how screwed I would be if he has like tier 3 knights right now or something? But I didn't think he was as screwed as he is. But I wanted to stop him from building a barracks and whatnot. Notice I'm letting him attack my archers. I'm not hiding them or anything, because the more that he attacks my archers, the more my immolation does damage to the peasants. And since that's all he has, is those like 5 peasants, because he doesn't have enough resources or anything to get anything else, every little bit of damage I do doesn't matter. I can replace my archers because I have a whole lot of gold, but he can't replace his stuff. Well, I guess he can because he's making more of it, but he can't. It's going to hurt him a lot more than me losing 2 archers. Let's just put it that way. And notice I'm just using my immolation. That's pretty much game over, because I took out all of his peasants, and I took out all of his towers. And I'm just being a dick right there. I don't know. Playing the role again. Felt like it. And I made another Tree of Life because you got to keep the Tree of Lives coming. And May just claims I would have lost, and he might be true. Maybe we'll rematch later, and I'll bring that to you as a special guest replay. I just won't commentate it. I'll just put it in the package. But he is right. He doesn't play human, and he doesn't dick around like this. And I do thank him for the help. He's a great guy, great friend. One of my he came on staff the same time I did when I joined for replay staff. And he's got class. He's in college. He doesn't mean that he's a really cool guy when he said he's got class. But he does really have class. But he's a great guy, one of my best WCR friends. And I really appreciate him helping me with this. I just felt like, hey, my parents aren't home, because I only do my commentaries when my parents aren't home, when nobody else is home at all, because you know half the shit I say I don't want them to hear. And so, my parents and my sister, they weren't going to be home at all today, so I was just like, hey, tower me, and I'll tower you, and then I'll make a commentary about it. Yes! Even though I released my other one about 2 days ago. So I'm really doing higher my quota, and you're all probably going to really, really hate this commentary. Because I know I would if I just spent the last 8 hours downloading it, and it's just a crappy how to tower rush and how not to tower rush and how to stop it and whatnot. I'd probably hate whoever did this too, but it takes me forever to download these fuckers, so that would probably be why. Because, you know, having a ping of about 5,000 on US East when you live in Virginia is just so depressing. So this is Frvade, hoping that you send me more love mail, because I don't get mail from other sources, because no one loves me.